All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Proximity eSports. This is round one of F1 2020. This is a brand new competition set up by Proximity eSports. Just hold on while we get things set up. If anybody is online, you can just reach out to us in the comments and let us know. Awesome. All right. It looks like we're pretty much ready to go. We should be starting in about 2 more minutes. The race officially starts at 10 p.m. and we will jump right into it. This is our first broadcast of F1. And excuse me for a second while I get things set up. Perfect. Looks like we are good to roll. Okay, how is everybody doing tonight? This is lockdown mode, of course. We have unfortunately been devoid of real racing, but not to worry, sim racing to our rescue. Aditya Patnaik, how you doing, man? Hope everybody's doing well. Oja Survey, okay, he is rooting for Aditya Patnaik. Well, this is Proximity eSports, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who may not know what Proximity eSports is, Proximity eSports is an esports organization dedicated to sim racing in India, started by Tariq Rahman and Puneet Kudlur. In fact, they are also racing today under the names of Mercurial Caesar and PRX Skinny. Now, this is Formula One. Proximity eSports has been hosting the Gran Turismo Sports Championship, which I am taking part in, but that's tomorrow. So for this one, although I would love to be on track racing against these guys, but unfortunately, or rather fortunately, I'm just relegated to commenting and hopefully keeping you guys entertained for the next 1 hour or so. Let me quickly explain the format of this F1 race, how it's going to work. Well, we're going to have a 15-minute qualifying session, which is just a straight flat-out qualifying session that will determine the grid order, followed by a 15-lap shootout of the Australian GP, which is Albert Park. This is traditionally the first F1 race of the season, and so it's quite apt to make it the first race of the season for the new Proximity F1 Esports Championship. Okay, so we should be good to go at any minute now, and we shall wait for the session to start. But till then, if you guys can comment and let me know how you guys are doing, what have you been doing what have you guys been up to during the lockdown? I believe that word is out that the lockdown has been extended by another 2 weeks. So not ideal, but luckily for us, we have sim racing that's going to keep us occupied. So all of us who have been craving for racing. What's also cool to note is that we have a lot more other racing activities happening right now. The Ultimate E Championship kicked off yesterday. Ultimate E is the esports wing started by the chaps who started the X1 Racing League, Aditya Patel and Arman Ibrahim. Some of our proximity racers who are also racing here today took part in the race yesterday, and I believe Abhishek Dwakarnath won the first race. Not so lucky in the second race, but it's really cool to see that there are a lot more options for people who are looking to sim race now in India. 2020 has jumped off to a great start that way. All right, so it looks like we are about to start the qualifying session, just waiting for everybody to jump in. We have 20 drivers on the grid. And why is one spot not filled, Ojas? I'm not really sure, but I think one driver hasn't showed up. Now this... So here we are starting with our qualifying session. Not like the full-fledged qualifying that we see in Formula 1, but it's a more shortened version of it. It's just going to be a 15-minute shootout. So who's going to get out of the pits first? Now, Albert Park has a couple of DRS zones. So getting out of the pits initially might put you in a little bit of a disadvantage. So we have... Okay, so let's jump straight to track. Let me get everything enabled so you guys watching at home can also follow all the action. Okay, so we are right now at the racing point, following the racing point car. Who is on the racing point? Excuse me guys, till I just kind of get to grips with this. This is the first time I'm commentating for F1 eSports, but more than anything I'm just getting used to the UI to start off with. Okay, so that changes our driver view. So we are currently following Shah-2224, Dark Passenger 123. I love gaming names. I wish there was some provision in real F1 where you could have their real names but also then have the gaming names. I think it would be really funny. Anhydrous acid, cool name. Sensible, is that it? Okay, Sensible is still in the pits. Mayank 7799 is on his outlap. We have just a couple of cars still in the pits. This is PRX Flipper. He is also quite competitive on the GT Sport leagues. Now, Jason 36 Ginger, PRX Skinny. So this is Puneet Kudlur. He is one of the co-founders of the Proximity Esports League. So here he is getting ready for his outlap. We already have a yellow flag in sector 3, so it looks like we have a little bit of an issue here. This is PXTAXK. How do you even pronounce that name? Anyways, Utkarsh from X1 Racing League is also here. Utkarsh was one of the fastest racers at the X1 Racing League, but he's still at the pits. So Shah 2224 is getting ready for his first, what I'm guessing, his first flying lap. So let's see how he does on his way down the start-finish straight, getting into Jones and getting into the Jones corner and Brabham, followed by that right-left-hander, going up the Ott drive and then braking hard, taking a sharp right into Sports Center, and then followed by quick succession here, following through Hellas, Whiteford, flat out all the way through, coming into the Marina. So here he goes, and then making his way into the long right-hander, which is the Lauda, the Niki Lauda corner, and slowing down right there for Clark. Alright, so just in a minute or so, we should start seeing some lap times as well. So let's follow the leader right now. This is CH55 Max in the Haas. Now, for those of you who may not know, this game follows a BOP system called Balance of Performance. The idea here is that, of course, in real life, a lot of these cars are not really evenly matched. If you followed, this is F1 2019, so it was Mercedes who won the championship last year. But this BOP system allows all the cars to essentially be pretty much the same, so it really comes down to the drivers. So that kind of balances things out. Okay, so the first of the ones who put in the lap times, we have Ashwini here at a 1:21.735, followed by CH Max. Well, almost about close to 2 seconds behind him. In running on mediums though, so that could be the reason why. So let's get everything up and running. Great. So let's follow Ashwini here, who's at this lap so far at a makes his way onto Stewart, braking hard to start. He's going into pits, so he's changing his tires, getting on another pair of softs. Oh look, we have Kiran Pardesi here. Nice to see you, Kiran. Kiran Pardesi in the house. He was the winner of the X1 Racing League eSports. He was, oh, looks like we have a double stack in the pit lane right now. That's quite interesting. Oops, sorry, not a double stack, my bad. He's getting the car parked in, so Ashwini is stuck in the pits for a little while. We have Kiran, who was the winner of the X1 Racing League, and good to see him here. All right, now let's quickly follow Mercurial Caesar. This is Tariq Rahman, ladies and gentlemen, driving the Williams, donning the Rocket logo right here. He is put in a 123.4, but he is running on a set of hard tires. Those are the white lines. Yes, those are hard tires. So that is a really competitive time. You can look at his time compared to PRX Flipper, who did a 23 on softs. But then again, they're all just probably taking it a little bit easy to just kind of get used to the track as the track kind of warms up, and then they start putting in their flying laps. All right, it's always fun to watch the cars, and I love the detail that Formula One has captured. The driver inputs, you can really see them working the steering wheel really hard. Very interesting stuff. I do wish I was racing though, but of course there's always next time. Making his way into the Senna curve, and I'm guessing he's going back into the pits. Yes, there's a lot of strategy that these guys have already been following, trying to so it looks to me like Tariq Rahman was just kind of getting a feel of the track, and now he should probably switch over to softs and then go into his flying laps. A lot of these guys are seasoned Formula One esports drivers, so they really seem to know what they're doing. It looks like Rajiv there kind of got out of the way because he didn't want to give the tow. It looks like we have a yellow flag down the order. It looked like a Ferrari to me. Let me see if I can catch him. Yeah, we have dark passenger 1, 2, 3. All right, looked like he had a bit of a spin, maybe caught a little bit of damage. It looks like the car is understeering quite a bit and a little bit hard to control right now. But looks like he's making his way onto Walt and then taking that right turn to Hill. Judging by how much he braked, yep, and you could see it right there. He gave a lot of steering input, but the car didn't turn. So obviously he has sustained some sort of damage to his front. It looks like his front left suspension. There you can see it again with dark passenger. Car just refusing to turn. So he's just trying to crawl his way back into the pits. You can do it, buddy. Come on, we believe in you. Into the Senna curve, just absolutely smack dab, slowing right down and just crawling his way back into the pits to get his car fixed. All right, do we have any out laps right now? We have a couple of out laps. So Mercurial Caesar or PRX Flipper has put on his softs and going into his out lap. Which means that he should be onto his flying lap. Looks like he's weaving around a little bit, probably trying to get some more heat into these tires. Of course, the physics of these games are fairly accurate, so a lot of things like track temperatures, tire temperatures, all those factors definitely play in, and you want to give yourself the best chance in qualifying. So obviously getting as much heat into the tires as possible before you jump into your flying lap makes a huge difference, and it will affect your final lap time. Oh, slowing down, getting and picking back up again, getting some heat into the brakes. Super professional. You wouldn't know if you were watching the real thing. I guess you would know, but come on, it is fairly accurate nowadays. And of course, if you guys are Formula 1 fans, you also know that Formula 1 official are also hosting their F1 eSports League with real Formula 1 racing drivers. Last weekend, Charles Leclerc won the Australian GP. Probably wouldn't have been the case if it were the real race, because Mercedes looked super competitive, and I was looking forward to watching that DAS system in action. But let's follow PRX Flipper into his flying lap. Okay, just the race is going to be 15 laps. That was beautifully taken. He's working his way down the curve, hard on the brakes. Missed the apex a little bit, but wants to. You gotta slam it right there. Go to the outside of the track as much as possible. Make use of the road and try to get absolute flying exit, which he clearly has, as he makes his way into the Lauda curve, the long right-hander, of course, remembering Niki Lauda, who we unfortunately lost last year, taking a sharp right hand into Clark and Fittipaldi, making his way onto the Lakeside Drive on the right side of this circuit. Oh, I'm sorry, I believe it's the right. Yeah, it's the right side of the circuit is where the lake is situated. No, I stand corrected. It's the left side. Dark Passenger getting in the way of PRX Flipper. PRX Flipper must be quite annoyed. And bumps him right off the racing line. Come on, Dark Passenger 123. What are you doing? And you can clearly see by the way PRX Flipper has slowed down. He is clearly annoyed. That is just not cool. You don't want to do that. Let's see what Dark Passenger was doing right there. He got right in his way, tried to knock him off the racing line, and it looks like Dark Passenger still having issues with his Ferrari. Lot of damage has been sustained, it looks like, but he's going for his flying lap. He is going for his flying lap. Alright, a lot of action down the order, but let's move our way back up. So we have Rajdeep Pal, who set the second fastest lap, just a 10th behind Ashwini Lakhwani, a 98, just a 10th behind. That was mighty impressive time by the Renault of a 121.8. Not too far behind is CH55 Max, who's in the pits. And is Rajdeep going for another flying lap? That is to be seen. So here he is at Lakeside Drive. He's going to go into the left and right hander of Walt and Hill, and making his way down to Escari, the hard right hander. And then it looks like he's on it. It looks like he's on another flying lap. Will he improve on his time? It looks like Mercurial Caesar, Tariq Rahman back on top. We shall jump to Tariq in just a second, but what is Rajdeep going to do? What is his time going to be? He's at a 1:19.20. Is it going to be good enough? Yes, it is. P2. That is exciting stuff. Great work by Rajdeep Pal. 1995. That was great. Just 3/10 behind Mercurial Caesar. Tariq Rahman put in a blistering lap right there in a Williams. If this was real life, how cool would this be, guys? Seeing a Williams on pole. We haven't seen that for quite a while. Not since the BMW days, of course. But great to see. Even though it's fantasy right now, it's just an esports competition. But it's great to see. I gotta say, it's great to see a Williams on top right here. So Tariq really showing us what he's made of, and as he heads back into the pits. Ashwini looks like he is on a lap. Ashwini Lakhwani is on a lap, and he's a 21.1, and he goes even faster than Tariq. That is incredible. A 10th faster than Tariq. It looks like he got a little too overexcited there and overshot the corner. Doesn't really matter because our boy Ashwini is on pole. Good job. That is incredible. Super competitive, and he's moving off the racing line. This is clean. Good job. This is how you do it. Get off the racing line. Let the other cars who are in their laps, who are still putting in their fast laps, get ahead. All right, let's try to catch some action. So we still have a few other drivers who are on there. Looks like we have a 5-pace grid penalty, yes, for illegal blocking, and that goes to PXT AXK. 5-pace grid penalty at the current order will put him all the way down in 11th, and it looked like he was slowing down right on the racing line. You want to be, I guess, more on the right side of the track. But anyways, 5-pace grid penalty is a little bit unfortunate. But I guess the game stewards know best. All right, it looks like we are on for a flying lap here as well. This is PRX Flipper. Will he be able to do better? He's currently at a 123.6. But is he going to improve? Let's find out, as he is... Looks like he is, yep, he is here at Lakeside Drive, getting into the left and right hander of Walt and Hill. Will he be able to improve on his overall lap time and take him up from 9th? But I'm guessing because of the grid penalty that PXT has, he should technically be in 8th right now. Really pushing the car to the limit, down to the center corner. Just about missed the apex there, but no worries. Absolutely smooth on the par. Incredible car control. Great display of car control right there. And where is he going to be? Yes, he improves 122.8. That puts him in 7th position. But because of PXT's 5-place grid penalty, Flipper just overcooked it a little bit there. Flipper should be in 6th position now. Alright, looks like Tariq Rahman, who was on pole for just a minute, is getting into another flying lap here as he makes his way. We just caught him at the right time into Senna and down the main straight. Let's follow Tariq on his lap and see what he does. Will he be able to improve? We will have our answer in about a minute and 20 seconds. Ooh, just about locked up there. Overcooked it. It's the commentator's curse. I'm sorry, Tariq, if you're watching. My apologies to you, buddy. But looks like he was a little too aggressive on the brakes there. But he did manage to hold it off. But the other question is, did the car sustain any damage? That's to be seen. But looks like he has compromised his lap. So I'm guessing he's going to get back into the pit lane and then work his way back up. Ashwini, the man on top, is chilling in the pits. Nothing to worry about. Noah West, okay, in the Toro Rosso, in his outlap, trying to keep the tires warm, just taking it cool. Doesn't want to push too hard. I'm guessing he's getting into his final lap as well. As we get into just 3 more minutes left in this qualifying session, so everybody is going to have about 2 laps, maybe 3 if you can do some consecutive quick laps back to back. You can maybe squeeze in a 3rd lap. But Noah Weiss is not too far behind, another 10th behind Mercurial Caesar, which is Tariq Rahman, and Tariq Rahman is a 10th behind Ashwini. So overall just 2 tenths between the top 3 drivers. And let's follow Noah Weiss, Noah West, in his flying lap. Will he be able to stitch something magical together in the Toro Rosso? Toro Rosso, let's not forget, was marred with a lot of controversy last year in the 2019 season. We had a lot of driver swaps, but it really gave a chance for Alex Albon to really show his mettle and graduate to the main Red Bull team. Okay, so far so good. I'm sorry, Caesar, I think I did put the commentator's curse on you. But no worries, buddy. You seem to be in 2nd, so I'm sure you should be good to go. As he breaks hard down for Clark and making his way onto Lakeside Drive. So far, looks like a pretty solid lap from Noah West. But will he be able to hold it together, and will he be able to improve on his time? That is yet to be seen. So coming all the way down, going to brake hard right here for Ascari, which he does beautifully, holds it together. Not as aggressive as I saw him in the last lap, but I'm guessing he's just trying to play it safe as he makes his way into Senna, and back on the start-finish straight. Will he be able to improve on his time? Let us see as he crosses the start-finish line. No, not at all. He didn't manage to stick it together. So it looks like he's in third, but not too bad of a start. All right, everybody else seems to have relegated themselves back in the pits. We don't really have much action on track. I think NovaWest is trying to stitch maybe one more lap together. I'm not really sure. But overall, it looks like this is what your starting grid looks like. Of course, except for PXT, who has the 5th place grid penalty. Alright, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we should begin our finals in a minute or two. I hope you guys are locked in. This is the very first Proximity F1 esports competition. And let's look at the tire strategy. So everybody seems to be on softs except for Imran Thunder, who's driving the Haas with mediums. Interesting strategy, probably trying to go a little bit longer. I'm guessing this will be a one-stop race. This should be a one-stop race. And let's see what the bottom of the order looks like. So it looks like Utkarsh hasn't put in a time. Utkarsh X1 Racing League. Funny enough, I was looking forward to see him. Maybe he's going to be starting at the back of the grid. So overall, an interesting race. Let's see how it turns out. This is the beauty of sim racing, ladies and gentlemen. It is democratizing access a lot more. A lot more players around the world are able to access sorry about that. I just wanted to change a couple of settings. So now you have the full screen effect, so we should be good to go. Thank you, Aditya. That's really kind of you. Can't wait to see you at the race tomorrow. Alright, for those of you who don't know, this is the who just joined us in. We're still waiting for players. Yep. Alright, we should be good to go. This is okay, so coming into the first corner, I'm sorry. Let me just, I believe this is the warm-up lap? No, it looks like the race is started. I'm so sorry about this. I think I missed out on the start, but it just sort of caught me off a little bit there. Let me just jump straight to the race leader. So it looks like we have NovaWest, who was in third, got off to a flying start, made his way up into first position, followed by... Hold on a second. I'm really sorry, guys. I think my internet is lagging quite a bit. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical issues, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a second. I have had... looks like my internet is glitching. Sorry, I am back. Alright, sorry, my internet has been glitching. Has everybody else been facing this issue off late? To me, my internet and my mobile network has been dropping quite a bit off late. I think we're overloading our networks in this lockdown period. Alright, so with that, I'm really sorry. It looks like I messed up the start of the race. Sorry about that, crappy internet. But let's get back on track. Alright, so where do we stand at the end of the first lap? Tariq Rahman, from second, managed to get a great start and work his way into first position. Down the order, we have Ashwini Lakwani, who's 2 seconds behind at the moment and trying to fight his way back in. We have Sonic Hawk, who's made his way through from from quite behind. That's interesting. We will have to watch the replays a little bit later. But back to the action, and Nova West, who was in third position, unfortunately has now been relegated to fifth. Let's go down the order and see if we have any battles brewing. So the field looks pretty much spread out right now. PRX Skinny all the way down to 13th position. Was expecting a more competitive start from him, but looks like we had an issue in the first lap, maybe a pile-up, which has led to the entire field being spread out like this. Alright, so let's move back up in front. It looks like we have a little bit of a battle brewing here between Sonic Hawk and Nova Vice, just about a second behind. Will Nova be able to catch him? Yes, he's under a second, so he should have DRS advantage. He should have the DRS advantage into the next DRS range, which should be around here. He should be able to catch him pretty soon. So it looks like we have a battle here that's brewing. Oh, and there you have it. SFR Sonic Hawk went wide, and that means Nova West said thank you very much and took fourth position. As he makes his way up the order, Rajdeep is about 2.5 seconds ahead. He has quite a bit of ground to cover, but it looks like he's catching up on a back marker, so he should have a little bit of an advantage here with Slipstream. Of course, because it's a back marker and this is a video game, in real life the back marker would have to get out of the way and out of the racing line, but not here. He just turns into a ghost and disappears. And looks like we had a McLaren there who spun out, but it looks like the top three drivers are intact. And right now Tariq Rahman Mercurial Caesar has built a 3.5 second lead. At this rate he's pulling about a second a lap. Super competitive, showing us why he is the best at what he does. He is also competitive on the global charts. Tariq Rahman, super competitive driver here with F1. Alright, now Nova West has about a second and a half to make up to third position. If he can, he will also get the advantage of DRS when the zone comes up. Let's see if he can catch up to Rajdeep. Alright, braking hard into what looks like Sports Center, making their way up all the way up to Albert Road Drive. Oh, I'm sorry, that it looks like they're at the marina right now. Clark, that was Clark, sorry about that. Made his way up to Clark, and here they are at Lakeside Drive. Will he be able to catch Nova Vice? This looks like the closest battle that we have right now for third position. Just a little over a second, or just a little under a second at this point. Really driving the wheels of the Toro Rosso, trying to catch up to Rajdeep. And as they make their way down here to the Senna curve and down the start-finish straight, what will it look like? He's brought the gap from 1.5 seconds all the way down to 7/10. It looks like Rajdeep gave that position up quite easily. Does he have a problem? What the telemetry tells us that he doesn't really seem to have a problem, but maybe his curse system is a little down. But he gave the position up quite easily. Is this a tactic, or is this... To me, it might be a tactic. Maybe he knows that Nova Vice is faster, so he's probably just using this time to catch into his slipstream and build a gap to second place. Now, this could be a smart move. Will it pay off? We shall find out in about 5 more laps. Apart from that, let's work our way down the order. It looks like we have a bit of a battle here between CH55 Max and Imran Thunder. Imran Thunder, the player from the US, and he was on a medium compound strategy compared to everybody else who was on softs. So is this going to pay out? Let's find out. Trying everything he can as they get into Clark and make their way up to Lakeside Drive. and now into the Welton Hill corner. Will that gap was as close as 0.3 of a second. Now looks like he's catching up. Looks like he has the DRS advantage here. Will he take him into a scurry? Looks like he's a little too far away, but he could be setting him up into Stuart corner, which is the next one. No, not close enough. CH55 Max using those softs to his advantage and getting every bit of performance he can, but instead makes his way into pits. Now let's watch this pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this is just a 15-lap race with tire degradation, so obviously it looks like he's reached the peak of his grip with his tires. Now let's watch this pit stop. Usually Haas has an unfortunate series of pit stops here in Australia. If you've watched Drive to Survive, who can forget 2018? But looks like he sustained some damage. They have changed the front nose. Of course, these are all electronic pits, so no scope for any error right there. And he's put on his mediums, which means that it should sustain him for the rest of the race. Let's move our way up. So Imran Thunder on the medium strategy, the second Haas of the two, so they were teammates. So Imran here running the medium strategy, it looks like it's paid off. He's made his way. I think he started off in 11th or 12th position, 16 to 6th. That looks like some intelligent strategy play from Imran right there. Exciting stuff. Now let's go down the order. Looks like here between PRX Skinny and G244. So let's go on board with PRX Skinny and see if he can bring that gap down to G2. It looks like he is won just a little over a second, so no DRS advantage for Skinny. And it looks like G2 is stuck up with a little bit of a back marker right there, but of course the back marker is just a ghost, so he doesn't really have to slow down. But driving with a ghost can be extremely distracting, and it looks like the ghost sort of caved to that. The back marker caved to that. But this is where the battle is between PRX Skinny and G2. Let's see how it progresses. Looks like PRX is still, Skinny is still on his soft compound of tires, so he's really done a good job of managing his tires, and he should have DRS advantage here as they come down into Sports Center and make their way up to Albert Road Drive. Now, will he be able to catch him? Of course, if this was real life, the Mercedes would completely eat up the McLaren. But to remind you, we have a BOP system here, balance of performance, which means that all the cars, at least in the game, are exactly the same. They're evenly matched. So it really comes down to the skill of the driver as he is following him up to Lakeside Drive and into Walton Hill. Will he be able to bring down that gap? Not so much, but he should have DRS advantage here. Just about kept it under a second before the DRS section, which then means that he does have the DRS advantage here. And it has definitely worked because he's already made 0.5 of a second. But no, Skinny, no! Absolutely, this is unfortunately, I think, the second incident that has happened with me following the driver. I don't know if I should constantly follow them, but luckily for him, it was just at the last 5 that he can directly jump into the pits. And by the looks of it, his Mercedes is really struggling right there, as you can see, into the pits. It was really pulling to the left over there, so obviously quite a lot of damage. Looks like they're going to be changing the front nose as well, and as he puts on a pair of mediums, that is just absolutely tough luck. Whoops, the camera glitching. But PRX Skinny back on track and not losing too much time, so that's what matters. Alright, let's move back up the order here. Now, Mercurial Tariq Rahman was in the pits last, and Nova Weiss, I guess Tariq tried the undercut, and Nova Weiss is getting into the pits now. So with a 14-second advantage, will Tariq be able to close the gap? Yes, and comfortably retake the lead. Where is Nova? He just put on his tires right now and is getting off the pit lane. And it looks like Ashwini as well has overtaken Nova. From a strategy point of view, it looks like the overcut staying ahead for an extra lap has not paid off. And Nova is down into the clutches of Rajdeep Pal and just under a second ahead. So Rajdeep should have a DRS advantage as well. Not the best strategy call for Nova, who was in third, I believe, but it's all right. We still have just 6 more laps to go, so anything can happen. All right, anything else building? It looks like Utkarsh as well. Utkarsh has fought his way. I believe Utkarsh started from the back of the grid, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't put in a lap time. Ooh, it looks like race control has dropped us a word. It looks like Tariq has got a 3-second penalty. Tariq has got a 3-second penalty. Tariq, Mercurial Caesar, who's currently leading, has got a 3-second penalty. That does not bode well for him. Although it looks like he has a comfortable advantage of 8 seconds. But of course, in Formula 1, every second makes a difference. Now, let's go back to Utkarsh, who's worked his way up to 5th position. If I was not mistaken, he started the back of the grid and worked his way up to position number 5. Very, very cool stuff right there. Utkarsh, obviously a super competitive driver. It looks like this was purely a strategy play. Oh, but then again, he started on mediums and now he's working his way back in. So he tried to stay out as long as possible, put in a few clean, consistent laps that worked his way up to 5th position, got as much life out of the tires. But the question remains, how many positions is he going to lose as the rest of the drivers pass him out? Looks like Utkarsh is going to be comfortably in 7th. Oh no, CH55 Max just managed to get that position, which leaves Utkarsh, unfortunately, in 8th position. Not too bad. 2 place. It looks like he lost 2 places. Sorry, 3 places. But overall, not too bad. Looks like the strategy is paying off. But he is right here now in the hands of Azim Clark, 88. Of course, Utkarsh is on fresher tires, so he should have the pace advantage. But how is this going to play out? Let's watch. Now, Azim Clark is just a little over a second, so yep, he's out of DRS range. But will he be able to catch Utkarsh? That is the question. No, it looks like Utkarsh is very, very clearly pulling away. The gap is steadily building as expected, with Utkarsh being on pressure tires from 1.5 to 2 seconds. And quite a lift off right there from Azim. I wonder if his tires are starting to give. Okay, so PXT, he put in a super competitive qualifying session but was awarded, unfortunately, a 5th-place grid penalty. And he looks just about where he started right now, in 10th position. Doesn't look like he's really made up a lot of places. I believe he started in 11th position, but looks like he settled into the race right here. But if he keeps his head down and if he shows the pace that he did in qualifying, there's a good chance that he could catch Azim Clark in about half a lap more. Let's watch and see. He's just a little over a second. He's just a little over a second behind. If he can get under that 1 second magic number, he should have DRS advantage. DRS, if any of you guys are new to Formula 1 and you're watching it for the first time, DRS stands for drag reduction system. There's a little flap at the wing at the back, and if you're 1 second behind the driver in front of you, you can engage DRS. That flap opens and you have a bit of an aerodynamic advantage in terms of top speed. And it looked like Azim Clark made a mistake, which has opened the opportunity here for PXT to catch him. Yes, the gap is well below a second now, so he should have DRS range right now, which he has engaged. And you can watch the numbers fall down. 7 tenths, 6 tenths, a little over 6 tenths. Can he bring it down to 5 tenths? No, it looks like Azim had a better exit right there. But yeah, as you could see, just in that small little section, the DRS advantage was about a tenth. So that goes to show how quick, how much of an advantage DRS has, which means that more exciting racing for you and me. All right, he's working his way back in here, start finish straight DRS, and brought the gap down to 3/10 of a second as they fight their way through into odd drive and going to break hard for Sports Center. Azim tries to close the door quite aggressively and nudges him. Azim nudges him, but PXT takes him from the outside. What a brilliant move. Azim tried to close the door at the very last minute, but PXT said didn't have any of it. He said nothing doing, took him from the outside, and now is pulling away already over a second ahead. I wonder if Azim has some damage, has sustained some damage, maybe some underfloor damage. He went off track a couple of once in the last lap, and maybe that little jostle with PXT might have caused some sort of damage to the car. Let's see if he gets into the pits, because it does look like he is struggling a little bit. It looks like we have a DNF, CH55 DNF, meaning that he dropped out. Yep, he overshot. Azim has overshot, and you could clearly see the car understeering there. I wonder if he will go back into the pits, or I wonder if it is just a simple tire deg issue. Looks like he's continuing, so yep, it looks like his tires are caving. Looks like he overdrove the car a little bit too much, and as a result he's paying the price. PXT already, do my eyes deceive me? Yep, that's 3 seconds ahead already. Super competitive. Alright, now there is a battle brewing here for third position. Nova West just about a second and a half away from Ashwini. Will he be able to close the gap? We have just 2 more laps left in the inaugural Proximity eSports F1 Championship here at Albert Park. Of course, not the real Albert Park, but the one in the virtual world. It's been quite an interesting race. Tariq Rahman here, who's currently leading, has been awarded a 3-second penalty, but clearly his experience is showing. Now this is the battle that we have to watch out for, where Nova West has brought down the gap to under 1 second as they make their way down to Sports Center and make their way up to Whiteford, all the way up to Albert Road Drive, completely flat out. Will he be able to catch Ashwini? He should, because we have he will also have the advantage of DRS. But as they make their way here into Clark, braking really hard, it's all about getting as much speed as you can into Lakeside Drive. It looks like Nova West got a better exit. He's on the inside. What is Ashwini going to do? He lets him through. Clean driving right there. No fuss at all. Oh! Oh no! That was really unfortunate, Nova West. That was insanely unfortunate. And he just lost it there at Hill. And that is... there's no words to that. He drove a brilliant race, but it's quite clear that there's no coming back from this. Nova West, unfortunately, brilliant drive, but unfortunately just lost it there on the edge of Hill. Looks like he carried a little too much speed and went into the curb, and the curbs are extremely unforgiving. You lose all your grip there, but of course Nova West cannot get into the pits now. Rather, he doesn't want to go into the pits because of this being the very last lap of the race. And as a result, Rajdeep has taken advantage of Nova West as well and moved his way up into third position. Man, you got a feel for Nova West here. An incredible drive, great strong qualifying performance. Looks like his strategy was on point, managed his tires well, and also very cleanly overtook Ashwini. But luck wasn't in his favor, just overdrove the car a little bit and into the hill corner in the hill complex. And Albert Park is not a forgiving track, as you can see. It's one of the very first. It's a city circuit, for those of you who don't know, and Formula One officially started here in the year 1996. It looks like Nova West has sustained a lot of damage. Imran Thunder in the Haas. Now, he was the only driver to start with a set of mediums on the grid, and it looks like his strategy has completely paid off. He's currently on the soft compounds now, so he has all the pace advantage towards the end. And with that, it looks like Tariq Rahman has won. Not a surprise there, followed by Ashwini Lakwani and Rajdeep Pal comfortably in third. Imran Thunder should be in fourth. And Nova West, man, I feel for you, dude. That is really, really unfortunate. Brilliant drive, some brilliant racing, but luck really wasn't on his side today. Hopefully the next race. And with that, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the inaugural race of the Proximity F1 racing competition. Looks like Utkarsh worked his way all the way up from the back of the grid to 7th position, but he's also been awarded a 5-second penalty. But that should keep him in 7th position. Doesn't seem like there's going to be much of a problem. PXT here, my man, he had a 5-place grid penalty, but managed to progress, I believe, 2 places. So kudos to you, good drive overall. Now let's see the PRX boys. Flipper, not really sure what happened there, but looks like he just had a really tough race. But overall, there you have it. The very first inaugural race of Proximity Esports has been won by Tariq Rahman, Mercurial Caesar, who's also one of the co-founders of Proximity Esports. If he did a little bit of, I don't know, some sort of server settings maybe. But it's so great to see only in the virtual world right now in this season will you see a Williams on first position. So there you have it, folks. This was the very first race of the season. I hope you guys have enjoyed what you saw. A lot of exciting racing. Stay tuned for more races from Proximity Esports. With that, I shall be signing off. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. So, yeah, let's look at the final results for once before we close the stream for today. Mercurial Caesar, first position, followed by Ashish Lakwani. Rajdeep Pal, a lucky third position there because of Nova West. Imran Thunder, his strategy paid off in the end, and this goes to show that this game is a lot more about strategy than just flat out racing. So with that, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Glenn. I've been your host. It's been a lot of fun. A couple of technical screw-ups, but I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Do tune into tomorrow's race with Gran Turismo Sport. I will be racing. Tariq will be commenting. Looking forward to tomorrow's race at Gran Turismo Sport. Same time, same place. Goodbye.